Hi everybody, ta-da, we are back. Welcome to the fifth, but unfortunately final episode of our P&O Azura Let's Talk Ship. And although this series is rather rapidly drawing to a close, we're still going to have plenty more videos coming up. So stay tuned, stick in there, hang on in there. Anyway, in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the health and fitness aspects of P&O Azura. So we're going to be talking about things such as like the gym and the spa. And then we're going to talk about the open deck areas and the pools and that kind of thing. And then last but by no means least, we're going to do a little run through of our final thoughts. But before we really get into the video, we're just going to kindly ask you to please consider subscribing to our channel. That helps us out loads. We'd be really, really chuffed. And if you like the videos, if you liked all these videos, please give them a thumbs up. That'd be amazing.
Make sure you hit the bell notification when you subscribe so you get notifications of all our videos.
Yeah.
If you've missed any of the series, you can pop back and watch them after you've watched this video. And if you've got any questions or comments, pop them below or head over onto our Facebook group.
Yeah, and if we don't know the answers to the questions, other people in our group will.
Yes.
So it's a great place to get any information. We're a friendly bunch and yeah, we'd be happy to have you there. So let's get on with this now, shall we? Let's get into this. So first up, we're going to be talking all about the health and fitness aspects of P&O Azura. So, first things first, as we're talking about health and fitness, I suppose it's only fair to start off with the gym. Now, the gym, there is plenty of equipment there. It's found up on deck 16 all the way forward. It's quite a spacious gym, actually. It's got some great forward-facing views out to sea. You can basically just see sort of the roof of the bridge. You can see the bridge wings, you can see out. It's great. So there, while you cross-train, you can admire the scenery. But yeah, there was loads of equipment. I think it was mostly like techno gym equipment.
Yeah, it's all techno gym.
There were like free weights there as well. And in the middle, in the centre, there was like a space to do things like probably like sort of dance classes and things like fitness, yoga, that kind of thing. So that was all there. I've got to be honest though, we didn't actually use it. We should have used it.
With all good intentions too.
We were intending on using it. We just couldn't get around to it. I mean, the thing is, there was so much going on. We were either hungover or we were waking up early to go off on a little trip. So we sort of it slipped down in our priorities there.
But if you're into your fitness, it is there for you. It's free of charge. So yeah, there's, you don't need to miss out on your daily gym session when you're on the cruise.
The other thing as well is you're walking around the ship constantly, and it's quite Azura's reasonably sized ship, not massive, but she's reasonably sized. So you'd be amazed actually if you've got a pedometer or anything on your phone, a little step count on your phone. You'd be amazed how many steps you do in a day. If you haven't done that yet, maybe next time you're on a cruise, check that out because you will be surprised. In addition to the gym, it is worth mentioning that there is a sports court as well. Now that is found aft at the top of the ship. We will talk about that in more detail when we discuss the open deck areas of Azura. But for now, we're just going to move on and we will get back to it. So after exerting yourself at the gym or walking the ship or going to the sports court, or if you're just a bit hungover, you're going to want a bit of R&R, you want to want a bit of rest, relaxation. So next, I suppose we should really talk about the spa and salon area.
Yes. So we'll start off in the salon, I think.
Yeah.
Here you'll find all your normal services you'd get in the salon on a cruise ship. So for you ladies, if you want to get your hair done ready for celebration night.
Pedicures, manicures, that kind of thing.
All that stuff, you can get that booked in there. And the gents, we've also got a barber shop on board. So you can get, your shaves done or your hair touched up.
And it's great because there's nice windows as well, looking out to the ocean. So it's nice.
As I said, on celebration night, it can get quite busy. So if you do want to book something, make sure you book it in as soon as possible when you're on board.
We always recommend anything like this. Go there on embarkation day. Anything you want book in, do it. That is the best time to do it. And usually you will always find someone on hand to show you around.
Yes.
So next, I suppose I'm going to talk about the actual spa aspect of Azura. So it's worth noting that there is a thermal area. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get to see it. We didn't use it. Apparently there are some sort of heated beds and things there. It sort of forms part of if you have a treatment, I think, as well. So if you have a massage, it's accompanied with a session in there to relax, that kind of thing.
It's more of a relaxation area.
Yeah, there was also like a little lounge by the pool. You could see out to the pool. There was like a couple of seats. We did stick our head in. I think it was towards the beginning of our cruise. But yeah, we didn't actually book any massages or anything during this cruise. However, it is worth noting, something which we're going to go into more detail later on. We did use the retreat, which is like an exclusive adult only area at the front of the ship. It's all open air out on deck. It's got like a shaded, it's lovely.
Really nice area.
But yeah, we didn't actually use the spa as such on this cruise, which is going to bring us on to our next, but this is a big bonus. On board, there is a single sex, basically sauna and steam room. and it's free to use. It's complimentary, which is absolutely fantastic. So although I'm saying we didn't actually use the thermal area, this is the reason why, because this other alternative was complimentary, it was free, it was amazing. So it's great if you're going to the gym and you just want to shower and then relax afterwards, or if you've been swimming in the pool and you're a bit chilly, or you've been whatever, you can just go there and just relax. It's great. We went there pretty much every other day at least during our cruise. So you go in, you've got a nice changing room, then you have plenty of showers, and there's a sauna and a steam room. They are what they are. It was great. Unfortunately, the steam room wasn't working towards the beginning of our cruise, but by the end it was rectified. They fixed it, so that was, but yeah, it's great, because normally just to experience those you have to have a thermal pass, which costs you 40 quid usually for about 2 hours. But this was completely complimentary, which was amazing.
If you want to use the lockers, you just need to hand in your card at reception and they'll give you a key for the lockers.
That's if you've got valuables on you, but
otherwise it's come and go as you please.
And which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I suppose we should really talk about the open deck areas, the pools and the open deck areas, because we've already said about the sports court and we've already said about the retreat. People are itching to know what's the open decks like.
Let's go.
As we said before, we're going to start off low down on the ship. We're going to work our way up. So it's only fair to start off our open deck area sort of segment with the prom deck.
Yes. If you want to walk along the prom deck, you can walk from the front of one side to the front of the other side through the aft.
Yeah, like it goes across there, around the back, and then it goes down this side here, but it stops. You cannot go to the front, not via deck 7 prom deck. As we said before, you used to be able to go in, up, and out and walk along the beak, but technically that's deck 8. But yeah, that's closed off now. So we have just got this lovely promenade deck, which is a nice touch, because more modern cruise ships, or ones that came after this ship, they're only small sections, isn't they? Like on Britannia, you can only sort of go like a little bit in the middle, maybe a bit at the back, and it's the same like the Princess ships as well. But this is nice because you can just walk all the way around. You can get a bit of a pace going.
Yeah, and your views are uninterrupted as well. You can see straight out to sea. It's
great, and especially at the back when you look at the wake and all, it's absolutely lovely. And it's like underneath the lifeboat, so it's kind of sheltered if it's raining to an extent. And yeah, it was great, it's lovely. So now we've told you all about Azura's promenade deck and the clamshell or beak, or lack thereof these days. We're now going to head on up to Azura's upper open decks. So what we're going to do for this little section of the video, or this little segment of Let's Talk Ship, we're not going to go deck by deck, because as you can see looking at this, it's all very upsy-downsy, higgledy-piggledy. So what we're going to do, we're just going to start at the front and we're just going to kind of work our way across. That's the best we can do, okay? So I suppose first, we're going to start off with the retreat, which is here, right at the top of the front on deck 17. Now this is an adult-only exclusive area. You have to pay. I will stress that this is chargeable. It is not free, it is not complimentary. Basically, you have to book this through reception, and they give you a little card, and the card is your access, because it literally unlocks the gate to go in.
So you can book it as a full cruise pass, or as we did, a day pass.
Yeah.
So it cost us £49 for the day, and that gave us access from about 8 AM to 6 PM. We do suggest you book it ahead, because it can book up. We were very lucky, I think, to get that day pass.
Really, really lucky. We literally thought, we badgered reception, didn't we? Because the first part of the cruise, it was completely sold out. Obviously, we booked this cruise quite late. So to book things like this was quite difficult to do.
But do what we did. Get yourself on the wait list, and then if somebody does cancel, they'll give you a ring.
So let's tell you more about the retreat. Let's tell you more about this area. So as we said, this is an adult-only exclusive area. It is quite nice. It's like a grass lawned, it's artificial, like an artificial grass lawned area. It's right at the front of the ship, as I've also mentioned. The forward end of it is shaded from direct sunlight. As you go further back, there is an open area for sunbathing, but here you'll find things like nice bushes and hedges and little greenery all over the place. And the sun lounges and the furniture up there is a lot more upmarket than what you'll find around the rest of the ship. There's a lot more plush, there's like more cushions, comfy cushions and stuff. It's a really lovely area. Also, because it's so far forward, if you go right up to there's like floor to ceiling glass windows all the way around. And if you stand right at the front, you can get some really impressive views ahead and out to sea. This is absolutely awesome. They do offer lots of things, like a little station at the front that offers you flavoured water. So you've got like I think it's like lemon water and, was it cucumber water?
Yeah,
things
that
like
kind of thing.
That's all there. And they do offer a selection of different teas, like green tea, Earl Grey, all that
Yeah, nice selection of teas and coffees.
They are there as well. And food is included as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can have your breakfast there if you wish. I had salmon, I think, for breakfast. You didn't make breakfast that day.
I didn't make. I was a bit rough.
There's also, I think, some pastries there. You can then have lunch. So we decided to have lunch up there, and that was
It was like a coronation chicken, but it wasn't like what you're imagining as coronation chicken. It was kind of deconstructed. Don't get me wrong, it was absolutely lovely. It had like these, I don't know what these funny little crispy things were, like triangles, but they were absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it was deconstructed, so you had like some nuts and bits and bobs and fruit and salad, but it was lovely.
Very nice.
Really, really nice.
And then we had some afternoon tea up there as well, didn't we?
Which was served to us. Like, yeah, you can't fault the service up there. It was really, really quite attentive, I will say that. It was quite quiet when we were there, I will say. Yeah. But then it wasn't exactly the hottest, sunniest day, but it was just nice. It was just right. It was the perfect place to just sit back, relax, unwind, and just de-stress.
Yeah, and it is relaxing as well, because if you want drinks or anything like that, you just call one of the waiters over and they'll go to the bar and get them for you.
Yeah, that's one thing I will bring up, is that we're actually waiters here. Yeah. We'll go on to the others later on, but yeah, there were actually waiters here serving you drinks, so that was no problem at all. Was it? It was a great area. We'd highly recommend doing it. We enjoyed doing it. The only thing I will say as a negative for the retreat area was there was a lack of a hot tub. On other ships like Britannia, Iona, they've all got hot tubs. There was nothing. It's non-existent on Azura or Ventura, for that matter. But, as there were no hot tubs in the retreat, it wasn't a big problem, because there were hot tubs at the Oasis pool, which are literally so close to the retreat area. You literally just have to go out the gate and down the steps and you are there. So I suppose maybe that was the thought process behind it, except those hot tubs are accessible to all passengers and guests. There's no exclusivity there. I couldn't get my words.
So next up, we're going to head to the Oasis pool.
Yeah, which is just there. So we've left the retreat, and as we said, just by there. So it's the same pool by the spa.
We quite enjoyed the series.
It's an adult-only pool as well. Yes. It's not too deep. It's sort of just a bit deeper than waist height.
Yeah, I think it's about 1 metre deep.
It's a lovely area.
What you'll find here as well is 2 hot tubs, which we did make use of quite a bit.
Yeah, and as we said, because there's no children, it's a lot more peaceful and relaxed. We actually managed to get in the hot tub quite often. Yes. It was great. We were sitting there, and we had our drinks and all this. Yeah. But I will say,
there is no.
You were just going to say,
there is no bar nearby, so you do have to walk along to the next bar to get your drinks and bring them back with you.
So you have to bring your own, yes, because waiting for somebody who'll be there forever.
But it is a really nice area if you want to chill out.
Really nice.
And being adults only, it is quite a quiet area.
We sat there for hours in the hot tub and just and it was just fascinating to watch on sea day when it was a bit choppy, because you could see the waves splashing, and there's like a little Buddha in the middle praying or meditating, and it's great to see. Yeah, it's just a lovely area. It was one of our it was our favourite pool on the ship, and the hot tubs were just lovely.
The pools and hot tubs, it was our place to go.
So, leaving the Oasis pool area, next up here we have a nice relaxing sun deck. So you can relax, sunbathe. Unfortunately, we didn't see any waiters going around offering drinks, but it was a nice, airy, open deck space. You can see the ocean, get plenty of rays. It was there. So yeah, that there. So we've basically gone from the retreat through to the Oasis pool. Now we've gone through sun deck. So next up we have, this is the coral pool area. So within the coral pool area, we have the breakers bar, which we've mentioned before. And then you've got like your coral pool bar, and you have your pizzeria, and you have your poolside grill. So that's all in the same area. I suppose you've got a lovely open deck area by the breakers bar, which is fantastic. It's great for the silent disco, as we mentioned.
There's a smoking area there as well.
There is a smoking area there on the port side, so that's fantastic. And I suppose while you're there at the breakers bar, it's handy to know you can actually walk along the outside of the deck, along here, and we mentioned it in the past, around the front of the gym, above the bridge, and you can take in some amazing forward views of the ship. So that's part of it, I suppose. So yeah, going on then, you have the coral pool. Now I can't tell you how deep the coral pool is. I didn't go in it. Can't tell you if it's hot or cold. I couldn't tell you. I know the Oasis pool was relatively warm, in fairness. But the coral pool was really good if you like a lively atmosphere, because you've got entertainment throughout the day, quizzes, trivia, bands playing, that kind of thing. As we said, you can grab a snack, you can grab a pizza, grab a burger, or you can grab a drink. And within this sort of area, both the upper and lower levels of it, you will get served. There are servers going around offering you drinks throughout the day while you're sunbathing. Yeah.
And this is a family-friendly area, so you can, the kids can go into the pool here as well if they want to.
Yeah. So then next, I suppose we're going to walk on through now. We're walking along the ship. You go through, and then you come and find yourself at the aqua pool. Now, this pool was actually closed for a brief part of of our cruise at the beginning, because it was being completely refreshed. It's nice to see that maintenance was being carried out, and it looked really, really fresh and posh and nice when it was finished. It looked all...
It had a good paint job, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked good. But anyway, the aqua pool is fantastic. It's probably quieter. Well, it is quieter than the coral pool area. However, you do have the enormous, amazing sea screen above it. So I suppose while you were swimming in the pool, you could be watching a film floating there and on your back watching something. Or again, you can be sunbathing. There are lounges around the pool. There is also, as we said before, the aqua bar. That is there. So they will serve you drinks there too. By the evening, then it turns into proper movies under the stars, where they actually bring out better cushions and blankets, as we've said before, with the entertainment. So that is there too. Again, unfortunately, I cannot tell you how. I can tell you how deep it was. It was not in actual numbers, but it was deep. When we saw it empty, if you'd have walked into it, my head would have been under the water. So that was of a decent depth, I would say. So that was the aqua pool. Yeah, it was a decent depth. Couldn't tell you if it was warm though.
Again, it's another family-friendly pool, so it's somewhere else you can go with the kids.
So leaving the aqua pool and heading further afterwards. Now this is great. You can see the funnel from the deck, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks amazing from when you stood on the deck. But I mention this area because if you're into your deck games, you will find shuffleboard and deck quoits on either side of this area here. As you can see the funnel, this area here. There are a couple of sunbeds there as well, I believe, but there's like this area of just deck games, which is great.
If you look in the horizon, they do organise deck games with the entertainment team, so you can head up there and have a little competition.
Yeah. And then heading further aft, then as you come aft past the deck games, you go up a couple of stairs. We're going to head all the way up now to the very top. We did mention this, John, up here by there behind the funnel. You will find the sports court. So it's basically a basketball court, really. It's all netted in. You can throw a ball around. You can it's just like an outdoor fitness area, really, isn't it?
Again, the entertainment team were up there sometimes doing little games and stuff, little competitions.
There were a lot of on our cruise. There were kids making use of it, which was nice to see, to be honest. I say see them, you could hear them, because whenever you were in the Planet Bar, which we mentioned the other day, you could hear the ball bouncing on the roof, more so when you went to the lav. It was like bang, 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 because it's literally the toilets are right below that. That is the sports court.
Up here, you'll also find the golf nets.
Yeah, on either side as well. Yeah, I nearly completely forgot about them.
I always look for golf nets.
But there were no golf putt things, were there, this time?
No bats.
No, the bats were what do you call them? No,
golf clubs.
There was none of their clubs. There was none of the clubs. It's also worth mentioning as well that then on top of the Planet Bar, you have a lovely deck. I have mentioned this area before because it was one of my favourite spots, because you could get some fantastic views down the side of the ship on either side. You could get some lovely wake views. You could see the terrace pool and all, which we're coming up to rather quickly. We're coming up to next. So next then they're all sort of terrace decks at the back here. So they sort of step down basically.
Yeah, you've got some sunbathing space there, some places to sit down and chill.
So coming down from like the Planet Bar, you've got there's an open deck area outside the Epicurean, but we never saw that used during our cruise. But it does look quite nice. It'd be lovely to have a meal there. Then heading down again, then you've got things like it's basically the kids club. It's sort of, you can see the back. I'm not sure if there was like a netted off section, like an outdoor play area for kids, but we don't bother with things like that.
They have got their little splash pool and things down there as well.
Yeah, that's really handy to know, the splash pool. And that looked really shallow, so like little toddlers, that kind of thing. They could just sit there and cool off and stuff, or parents could play with them. That'd be nice for them. And then heading on down, then you have the terrace bar, which was one of our favourites, and the terrace pool, which is all the way down here and right at the back. Now the terrace pool was warm. I'd say out of the terrace pool and the Oasis pool, it was the warmer one. It's great because you get some amazing wake views where you can see all that scenery, and you buy the terrace pool bar as well, so you can get a drink. There were sunbeds around there, and it was just a nice area. It was probably more sheltered because of how it goes down, and for most part of our cruise, it was like a little sun trap as well.
Yeah, it was
It
lovely.
was really, really good. But yeah, that is the terrace pool, which again, that wasn't too deep either. That was probably just above waist sort of height. So it was more of a family pool as well. There were a lot more youngsters around that pool area and family. So
you have got 3 family pools. One thing to note with P&O is that they don't have any on-duty lifeguards either. No. So there were pool attendants around, but they were more for clearing up leftover towels and things like that. Yeah. So if you are going with a family, just keep an eye on the little ones when they're swimming.
Okay, so that's basically it now, folks. We've wrapped up. We've took you on a tour of all the open deck areas of P&O Azura. There are lots of them, and as you can see from the layout of the ship, it's all up and down, very higgledy-piggledy, quite a challenge to navigate when you're trying to explain it to people. But when you're on board, it's fairly easy to get around, isn't it? It's quite quirky in places, as we were saying, with these little viewpoints and things. It's great. I really did like the tiered stern at the back. I thought it was really, really nice.
There was plenty of space on board, wasn't there? It didn't feel crowded on those decks.
No,
so
we always managed to get, if we wanted a sun lounger, we could get them. So it was, we were quite happy, weren't we? So now we've told you about the pools and the open deck areas. We're now going to go into our final thoughts. Okay then, Gav, so what are our final thoughts? What do we think of Azura? I suppose the burning question you're all wanting to ask us is, would we cruise on P&O Azura again? And I can say, definitely, without a doubt. No, we had a fantastic time. It was absolutely brilliant. We really can't fault the ship at all. We really enjoyed it.
Everything we did on the ship, the staff were brilliant. Everywhere we went, it was well maintained. It does need a bit of TLC here and there.
Yeah, but our understanding is from forums and things online, Azura is about to have a refresh, or a refresh is coming up. But don't let that put you off at all. You see these things online, think, oh my God, the ship's falling down, things are hanging off the walls and all. It's not that bad. There are the odd little bit of damaged deck lino, I call it, in one corner at the back. There was a couple of little tiny bits of mosaic flooring coming up by the breakers bar, small ditty little things, but it's worth noting though, the crew were going round, things like chairs, stools were being replaced, railings were being constantly varnished, the pool, the bar, the breakers bar was varnished while we were on board as well because it was closed off. We were always seeing wet paint signs across decks, and you could smell the paint. So the ship, and as we said, the pool, it was being maintained. It's not through lack of maintenance, it is being looked after. So
it's just slightly dated. I think we mentioned it in our cabin tour as well. The cabin does look slightly dated, but again, it was well maintained. Steward kept the room spotless, to be fair. But there were just parts of it which, the small TV and things like that, just made it a bit dated. But, it didn't impact our enjoyment.
It would not ruin the cruise for us. And to be honest, when you're on a cruise like that, we don't sit in the room watching telly like that anyway. We're always out and about, enjoying ourselves, making the most of it. So it didn't impact our holiday at all negatively anyway.
Another thing we loved about Azura was its size. We've been on a few mega ships like Iona or Avia. We've also been on Virtuosa with MSC. They're huge, 5,000-6,000 passenger ships, maybe a bit more sometimes. But Azura was the perfect size and wasn't too busy before.
Yeah, like we said, it was big enough that there was enough to do, but not ridiculously big that it was like, oh God, someone phone me a taxi, I've got to go from one bar to another. It was easy to navigate. For the most part. It was a decent size. I was really, like we said, we were really impressed with the amenities that were on board. So there was enough of the staple restaurants and things. It was just it was a nice size. It really was a nice size, wasn't it?
One of our favourites were there. You had the Glass House, you had Sindhu, Epicurean. We really enjoyed it.
And I suppose one of the biggest things we're going to say about the ship was we really felt it was just, it's blown away. It was the staff.
They
honestly,
were really
I'd say out of all the cruises we have been on, certainly with P&O, this was the friendliest, the best staff I think we have ever had. Especially these guys that you're seeing now. They were all absolutely amazing. Each and every one of them really made our cruise so very special.
And finally, I suppose, it's the ports, isn't it? What do we think of them?
What do we think of the itinerary? Now, the itinerary, we'd never been to the Canaries before, certainly not on a cruise. We'd only been to Fuerteventura years ago. But the itinerary was amazing. We really enjoyed it. We were actually really surprised. As you all know, this cruise was not planned. We were supposed to be going off to the Med. So we were supposed to be going off to
we were supposed to go down to Greece and
Turkey and all that lot. So we had, this just was sprung on us, and we took a chance. We went on this cruise, we bit the bullet, and do you know what? It absolutely paid off. And would I go again? Boy, oh boy, yes. The bit I probably didn't like as much about it was the fact that it was sort of like a back-to-back cruise rather than a 14-night specifically sole cruise, which did mean a section of it was repeated. There was an element of repetition. But like I said, the Madeira was amazing. It was really such a pretty port. It was nice to go there twice, in fairness. The sea days, they're sea days. We're on a cruise. We didn't really mind the sea days. We always love a sea day. It's part and part of it. But it would have been nicer if it had been for at least the one cruise, if it had just been a one itinerary all the way through. Somebody has mentioned possibly it'd be nice if P&O went to, is it Casablanca, I think, that it's just a little bit over from Madeira, which I think if it had done something like that, it would have been even better. But the itinerary was amazing. We really can't rate it. We recommend it. If you've never done it, do it. Yes.
So when we cruise, we don't tend to look at the negatives or dwell on the negatives too much, because we know nothing can be perfect. But if you've watched the whole series, you'll know there are some negatives. Yeah. So we'll probably just highlight them quickly
touch on to them quickly, because we try not to repeat ourselves too much. Because so basically, the only negative for me, one of the big negatives for me, was there was no access to the beak, which there used to be. I'm sure I've gone on about that enough. So that is a shame. But, it didn't ruin my holiday.
The other negative we found, and which we've discussed in the past as well, is the smell we were getting around Promenade Deck. Yeah. Again, it only appeared on the second week mostly.
It was more so second week, definitely.
It didn't ruin our holiday.
No. We didn't hang around. If it smelled, we just walked through it. It was like, just go. Walk straight through it. Yeah, we were never sort of in a situation where we felt like we could not get away from the smell, if that made sense. I wouldn't let it ruin your cruise. It was just an observation we've made.
And then the other observation that we made, or from myself anyway, was around the buffet. It wasn't to my taste, but you enjoyed it.
I found there to be plenty of food, but a lot of people have agreed with you in the comments of those videos and said that they found the availability was, the range was lacking. But I thought it was all right. It was okay. And then I suppose one thing to consider, from what we experienced on this cruise, Madeira and all that sort of area, the Canaries are notorious for being choppy and bouncy, and I would put it on par from what we experienced with the Bay of Biscay. I would have said the sea days were probably bouncy mostly. I don't think there was, I'd probably say fairly bouncy. So if you're prone to seasickness or you're worried about seasickness, I would recommend seasickness tablets or bands or whatever you need to do.
And also, when you come to book the cruise, if you can, normal advice, pick midship, lower decks. That's where you'll feel less movement, so you'll be more comfortable.
But again, for us, it didn't ruin our cruise. So we were quite seasoned cruisers now. So we just it just took it in our stride. Sometimes it was a bit, especially when you're hungover. But for the most part, it was not that bad. It was okay. Fine. I can't really think of anything else that we haven't mentioned already.
If we are missing anything, or if you've got any questions, comments, pop them below, or head over onto our Facebook, and you can ask away there as well, and we'll be happy to answer it. And if we can't answer it, somebody else will. Yeah, but we definitely recommend the cruise, the itinerary. We'd recommend the ship. We can't fault the staff. Can't praise them enough. We just had a really great time. So make of it whatever you will. Unfortunately then, this is going to draw this episode and this series to a close. We are finished, everybody. But, don't worry, we're going to be back. We're going to have more videos coming up. We hope you've liked the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. We hope you're going to subscribe to the channel, because we'd really love it. And if you do subscribe, remember to hit that notification button.
And you'll get a little bell thing, go ding ding when our next videos come out.
If you found it really useful and you want to support us through other ways, you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on Facebook, you can join our Patreon, where you get early access to our videos and they're ad-free. And if you want to get yourself some merchandise, head over to our shop. Which
I forget about all this.
Shameless plugs, sorry.
And also, feel free to share the video with your friends or family. We don't care. if you've made use of this video, if it's been useful to you and helped you out in any way, that's made our day. That's what we like, that's why we do it. So we hope you've all enjoyed it, everybody. And we're going to have to say cheerio, take care, and we'll see you again on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.